is. He just completely freaks out. So he runs back to Bo's, starts yelling at him, starts threatening him, and then Bo says, "Hey, okay, wait right here." And he comes back and he's got the gun, and Yayo says, "Well, what are you going to do with that?" And Bo says, "Well, I'm gonna take you out," and he just shoots him, and Yayo falls over the railing and on the ground, and then Bo and Bear. And I don't know, did we mention that Bear is the James Gandolfini character?
I don't. You talked about how you wondered which one was supposed to be Ronnie or him, as far as the bodyguard, and that it made more sense for Gandolfini to be the bodyguard.
Yeah,
because he's the
bigger guy. Because Ronnie almost comes off like Bo's partner.
Yeah.
Maybe his muscle, but I think Gandolfini as Bear is supposed to be more of the muscle / bodyguard.
Yeah.
And so that's the James Gandolfini role as Bear, who is Bo's bodyguard.
And a stuntman, right? A retired stuntman?
Yeah, a retired stuntman, which you find out a couple scenes later. But they have a little exchange where, they look at Yayo down there, and then Bo says, I wonder if we can invite Chili Palmer up here. We can rig the railing to break away like in the movies, and we can take out Chili. And then he says he kind of has that bug that Chili has, where it's, I want to get out of the gangster business. I want to get into the movie business. That same thing that Chili is thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
So then we cut to the morning where Chili and Karen go to meet up with Martin, and then that's the first time that we in person get to meet Martin Weir, and it's Danny DeVito, and there's a funny exchange where because they used to be married, and Martin is reminiscing about, well, why did we ever break up? And
he's like super creepy, kind of.
Yeah, he does it a bunch in the movie. I was going to ask you, do you notice that every time that he goes to greet Karen, he tries to kiss her on the lips?
And she's like not having it, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't have it. She always gives him the cheek. But yeah. Every single time he goes in for the kiss on the lips. But they're sitting there and he's wondering, why did we ever split up? And she says, "Oh no, you went off to fucking, this girl at my birthday party. That's why we split up." And he says, "Oh yeah, that was a good party." But he's, Chewy's telling him about the part, about the movie that he's thinking about, which is obviously his story. So he's asking, he's talking to Martin about it, and then Martin starts trying to act for him.
Uh-huh.
And every time, he's trying to act about, what to say to be menacing and all that. And it's pretty good. I think I read that a lot of that was kind of improvised, where Sonnenfeld just told Danny DeVito to do his thing, and all those times where Danny DeVito's trying to talk tough and, trying to act for Chili.
Yeah.
I think that was a lot of improvisation. And then when their meeting is over, they go outside, and Chili's got the minivan out there, and then Martin sees the minivan and he gets super excited about it. And that's when Chili tells him, "Oh, that's supposedly the Cadillac and minivan." So Martin's like, "Hey, can I go for a test drive?" Gets in the car and gives it the test drive. And we cut to, did I skip over the part? There's I don't know if it was before this. I think it was before this part. There's a scene where Harry's on the phone with someone, and then Doris shows up, who's the wife of the guy that wrote Lovejoy. It's Bette Midler.
Oh yeah, yes.
I think that was before this scene, but yeah, she shows up. She's the wife of Murray, who's the guy that wrote the Mr. Lovejoy script. The guy that, as Harry explained to Chili earlier, he ended up dying, and because he never had like a legitimate contract with Murray, Doris, his wife, owns the rights to Mr. Lovejoy, so the $500,000 that Harry needs is what Doris is asking for the script.
Mm-hmm.
So she shows up to kind of seduce Harry. That's Bette Midler. I think she's uncredited in the movie, even though she's got a handful of scenes.
Yeah, she's prominent, I would say.
She's in at least 3 scenes in the movie. But so he meets up with Doris, and that's how you meet her. And then after Karen and Chili meet up with Martin, it cuts to the restaurant, and Harry's meeting with Bo and Bear, and they kind of tell him, hey, Chili's playing you, he's got the money already, he just doesn't want, so Harry's getting annoyed, and they say, hey, there's this money in the locker in the airport, it's yours if you want it, why don't you send Chili Palmer there to pick it up, that way in case he gets busted, you don't have to worry about him anymore. And Harry basically is saying, okay, yeah, I'll do that, because he's angry that he thinks Chili's playing him. So then there's the scene where Chili and Karen come into the restaurant as Bo and Bear are leaving. And that's when, there's a confrontation on the landing of the stairwell, or the staircase, where Bo tells him, hey, this is my associate Bear, he used to be a stuntman. And then Bear starts to try to be really intimidating to Chili. And Chili just says, hey, you're a stuntman? He's like, yeah. And he says, hey, you any good? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And he just immediately grabs him and throws him down the stairs.
He grabs him by, like, his junk, right? And
yeah, he grabs him by his balls and just, like, completely just throws him right down the stairs. And then Chili goes and gets up in Bo's face and says, hey, I'll make you a deal. If you get out of here right now, then I'm not going to mop the floor with you and mess up your pretty suit, which is a good line. And then Bo just gives him that look and just... He knows that he can't really do anything because I think he believes that Chili will mop the floor with him.
Yeah.
But he just gives him that look and says, oh, you don't know me. You only think you do. And then takes off, and there's a really good shot of him going down the stairs while Karen's going up, and they both kind of give each other that look. So Karen and Chili, they get to the table with Harry. Harry's really upset after finding out that Chili has the money, but the money doesn't belong to Chili. That's the money that Ray Bones sent.
Mm-hmm.
Sent him for, and he says, hey, I can't give you that money because it's Ray Bones. If I give that to you, he's going to be after you, and that's something you don't want. So Harry's mad and says, oh, well, there's this money here at in the airport in the locker. Why don't you go and get it? And both of them are like, are you stupid? You're being set up. But Harry doesn't care. He's really upset with Chili because he thinks he got played. So he tells Chili, you go and get it at the airport. And then Harry's in his office. He wants to take Chili out of the equation. So he tracks down Ray Barboni, and he gives him a call while Ray's still in Miami. And it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie because he's just talking so tough. And he has no idea, like, how dangerous Ray Barboni is. He calls him, and there's a really funny shot of Ray on the toilet. And like, he's reading Martin's book, and the book shows up for the rest of the movie. Like, everyone has this book. I think it's called Weird Tales because of Martin Weir. And Ray is sitting on the toilet reading it, and the phone rings, and he kind of does like the Eric Stoltz in Pulp Fiction thing, where he kind of like gives it a second, and it doesn't stop. So then he gets super annoyed, and he's sitting there, and he gets really annoyed. He's like, fuck. Gets up off the toilet, goes to pick up the phone, and then it's Harry on the other end, and Harry just starts talking tough to him and saying, hey, is this Ray Barboni? Hey, I have your money. And Harry's he's talking tough to Ray. And Ray says, well, I've never heard of you. And he says, that's because you've never been out of fucking Miami, dipshit. And he's acting like a real tough guy, not realizing who he's talking to. So he says, hey, you want Chili Palmer and you want your money? Like, I can get it for you. And then I guess Ray makes the decision to go to Los Angeles. And then we see Chili at the airport. He's gonna check it out, but as soon as he gets there, he can see the setup a mile away. So he devises a little plan to check things out. He gets someone to put a bag in the locker right next to the locker where the money is.
Yep.
And uses a distraction, and he goes in for the locker next to the one with the money in it, and then the feds swarm him. So they take him away. And as they're taking him away, we see that Ray is coming in to the airport,
which is a great
with
scene.
The limo driver where he's got the name spelled wrong.
Yeah, he's like, I hope you can drive better than you can spell. It's Barboni, you fucking idiot.
It's Farina, man. Farina's so good. And then as Ray is leaving the airport, you see that Mr. Escobar is coming in, and that's Miguel Sandoval, who's a good actor who is in Jurassic Park as well. He was in Repo Man. He's in Do the Right Thing, but he's coming in the airport as well with his bodyguards. He's saying, "Oh, we're gonna get Yayo. We're gonna get our money. So we're gonna go see Bo." So Chili has the exchange with the DEA agents where they're questioning him, and he's just playing it off like he had no idea what was going on, and kind of tells them, hey, get the right guy next time.
Yeah.
And they're really pissed off because they know that they fucked up, and that he was much smarter than they were. And as he's leaving the airport, he runs into Bear, who's waiting for him at the van.
Yeah.
And Bear wants the key back, and Chili's telling him, hey, if you're going to set someone up, like, make sure it's a surprise. Like, I can see those guys a mile away. And Bear says, okay, well, I want the key back. And Chili's just kind of taken aback, and he's like, I can't believe you guys are this dumb. And then Bear goes to grab at him, and Chili punches him and kicks him in the shin and takes him down. But then there's a really sweet exchange where Chili says, hey, okay, breathe, he's trying to calm him down. And then he helps him up, and he just sits down and he starts talking with him and says, hey, are you okay? You going to be okay? How about when you fell down the stairs? And then he just asks him about being a stuntman. Hey, you were a stuntman. How many movies did you do? It's just, it shows that he cares, that he meant it's all just business. He doesn't mean the guy any harm.
Yeah.
After he punches him, he helps him back up. And it's a really funny scene. And then it shows Chili just kind of sit down with him, and he's talking, they're talking movies back and forth.
I like that wide shot when they do the tussle in the parking lot, and you just kind of see like their silhouettes.
Yeah, it's backlit.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a really good shot. The cinematography in the movie's good. I have to look up to see who the cinematographer was, but Sonnenfeld himself, being an ex-cinematographer, can frame a scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It's a good shot. It's backlit, and you see that fight when Chili takes him down. I shouldn't even say fight. he basically hits him and kicks him